Hey, I hope you guys are doing okay. I just had some things that came on my mind. I said, let me just come live and talk. And I'm in my bedroom, as you can see. I'm not in the main studio, but you are watching Larry Live. It's your most favorite digital entertainment news and talk show that is out here on the social media streets where we have the conversation absolutely. And I hope you guys enjoyed me going live in the car. Was it yesterday? As I left Brian Carn Church, and I shared with you, I done a review, and I heard from quite a few of you to my, oh my God, this the Larry line we love. I get it. If it come up, you'll get it. That's not my intention. I want to come and talk about the stuff that I want to talk about that you tell me you want me to talk about that I want to talk about. I hope you understand what I just said. I like to come out here and talk about what I like to talk about and what you tell me you want me to talk about that I want to talk about. I hope you understand what I'm saying. You got to meet me halfway because it's like some of the stuff that I be saying online, I pay attention to it. I see it. I mean, some of it, but I just feel like I ain't that interested in having that conversation. So I don't see the point of coming up here and having a conversation. So I like to have conversation on, stuff like this. Today we're going to talk about, actually, it's a Q&A. So this is the time, most of you always say, I want to ask you this, or I want you to coach me, I want you to mentor me. My answer is no, I choose me, except that you inside my spiritual ecosystem. That's different. But just normal, regular, random people that watch me on live, it's not going to happen. You have to integrate yourself into the community by going to Patreon, patreon.com/Larry Live. And that will be the way that you'll be able to get yourself integrated into a place to where, we're communicating pretty often through cyberspace. Now, what I need for all of you guys to do, I need for you all to hit like and hit share. I've titled this Deconstruction and Decolonization Q&A, which means 5 people are going to come over to have the conversation. But, hey, it is what it is. I am used to seeing thousands in my chat, but the content that I was doing at the time that would happen, and the times, everybody was home. So now when I come out here, it tends to be just my small core people that like to think in a group. Not that we all thinking the same thing, group thinking and that wise, but as a group, we just think and we talk and we share. Well, most of us that are Black and in America and in the South were raised in the church, and most of us were probably raised in communities that were very, very traditional, especially if you're my age. I'm 48. So I'm pretty sure that's what you experience. But where we are now with information and with how things have just changed our world, our culture, your life, my life, our choices, our identity, all just started to evolve and things begin to hit us in a certain way. Life happened. And that caused us to start being like, wait a minute now, y'all said X, Y, Z, but I'm experiencing ABC. Wait a minute, and what y'all said about this through here, that ain't working over here. Well, it's not looking the same when it's in that context. And so we started asking some questions, and I fully believe that people that could not get their questions answered, they left the four-wall church experience. When I first started the Larry Live platform, a lot of you don't know what it is, but my first shows were all about, we weren't using the word deconstruction and decolonization then. I was talking about getting very focused on the globalization of our faith and the integration of our faith in certain industries. And I will always throw around this statement of graduating the four-wall experience and moving into cyberspace, the cloud, the digital space, and becoming a spiritual space in the cloud where people can go and come and get their spiritual nourishment on demand. That is what I discussed, and that was what my show started as. And then as we started having those conversations and preachers calling in, like Brian Carn, Juanita Bynum, and was Bishop, some of these noteworthy people at the time were calling in, and then the chat would say, well, you telling us to do this and that, but then you hear about this preacher did that. I'm like, what happened? I already knew about the Kojic blogger that put everybody's business out. But I began to understand that there was a whole need to discuss and talk about the things we saw on the internet, and bam, we started having a conversation, and that was 2000. Officially, June next month will actually be our anniversary. Officially, June of 2016. So how many years is that? Oh, 10 year. Our 10-year anniversary will be next month. I'm going to see if I can find the date. Kendall, see if you can find the date. Kendall's in the back. See if you can find the actual date for our anniversary. Yeah. So, and that's how we started. So what I wanted to do today is just, I know you've been saying some stuff on the internet. You got some questions, maybe heaven, hell, tongues, prophecy, I don't know, tithe, seed, I don't know what, sexuality. I don't know what it is, but you may have some questions. I'm going to start off with defining deconstruction and defining decolonization, just so you're clear on what that means, because people be on the internet and then their pulpits just freaking get all the way up. And so I want to explain what it is and what it is not. Take a moment right now, if you're watching on YouTube, to hit like. Now I want y'all to look at this. This conversation is not going to be everybody's conversation, so it's not going to be thousands of people in here unless something happened and I go into a conversation and then it's almost like they listening, because if I start talking foolish and talking about something that has happened in the news, my numbers will start going up, 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 up. I wonder, do they be listening? Do they got AI? You know, could they do that in Zoom? In Zoom, you can hit a button, turn AI on. AI takes notes of the whole live. Y'all, they is listening. That's common sense. They are, because we get transcripts from our live YouTube. If you click the thing to get it, and AI listens and transcribe your. Larry, what you thinking? Yeah, they listening to what you're saying and saying what you're saying, and depending on what you're saying, whether they're gonna push it out to other folk. Of course. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can talk foolish for a little bit. Okay, what's happening on the street that's viral? Let me do that before I get into talking about deconstruction and decolonization. Put it in the chat. Something you guys want me to say. Oh, Ty said they do. Yeah, it gotta be that, Ty. And thank you for shouting this live out on your platform too. I do not take that lightly. Dr. Shot and Brian. First of all, let me say this. I'm sick of hearing about this woman. If I just be completely honest, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, it is very clear that the way that she looked and her ability to talk and putting doctor in front of her name was the way that she ended up being this sought after talking head. Being that she had friends that were able to bring her on certain platforms, then the natural thing that happens is people start booking. And that is just a business. And she done what many people do, many preachers. And what's interesting is to see a lot of preachers and pastors, that talk on the internet really go mute on this. And let me tell you why pastors and preachers are going mute on the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant conversation and won't say nothing about it, because they are her. Don't have any respectable credential and got a story to explain their degree. And a lot of times the track that these people take to get certain degrees, they aren't proper tracks. They use some of their life experience. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but I am saying you have to represent proper. They use their life experience to get them an honorary doctorate. I have an honorary doctorate. I can't even remember where it's from, because it didn't mean a lot to me, although maybe it should have, but it didn't, because at the time I was like, well, that doesn't help me, and I'm grateful that you guys gave me an honorary doctorate, but I haven't even got a master's yet, so I can't even use the title doctor from this honorary doctorate because I don't have at least a master's level education. I don't think a lot of people know that. You can't use the title doctor when you receive an honorary doctorate if you don't at least have a master's level education. And what this woman did, she went and trademarked Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So her name is her trademark, but she don't really have a doctorate degree. She says she went through a program and the school closed. Wait a minute, that happened with me. I went to Apex School of Theology in Durham, North Carolina for my degree, a master's in therapy and counseling, where everybody before me for several years were able to go and take their tests after they finished their hours. I had to do 2,500 hours like everybody else supervised. After they finished all of that, they went, took the test, and now they're therapists. But when I was in my last year, and those around me, Kendall Shamako, that knew I was in school, y'all know, y'all watched it happen. After driving to Lewisburg, I think it was, all the darn time for my hours, then they lost the accreditation for that track. Not for the whole school, but for that track. And so I couldn't go and take the test. I would have to leave there and go to Campbell University that was near, and I would have to finish. So I didn't go and finish that, but I still use what I learned in my counseling. So I was counseling for years prior to that. But they just gave me structure. They gave me forms. I learned the billing and all that different stuff. But I just used it to help those that I pastored. I still use all of the sheets. I still got every client I ever had. You're supposed to keep that stuff. I had that. It's like a thick book through ring binder of the assessments and everything that was going on. But I knew I wasn't supposed to go that route. I was just supposed to use the education, and I did. And then I continued to go to school. And eventually I ended up with a master's in Christian counseling. And then I left that, and then I went into a dual program that was at the school for MDiv, and it was also giving me some points and credits towards a DMin. And I'd done that like 2 years and then stopped. And I went years and stopped. And then I got connected with Hosanna Bible College that's in Durham. And then they took my transfer credits. It's a terrible thing when you go to school and you get all into debt to get a degree, then you can't get your state recognition because they lost the accreditation. So they took some of the credits from there. And then I finished my MDiv program at Hosanna and then completed my DMin there. And I done I just happen to have it. Look at all my books here. And my dissertation was called The Creation, Development, Integration, and Maintenance of Cyber Parachurch Ministry for the Purpose of Enrichment, Entertainment, and Empowerment in a Post-COVID Society. So I got in the program, I got built out during the program because we had COVID. And what I was doing, although I was doing it years ahead and had prophesied by 2020, everybody needed to be all ministries building online, I was doing something cutting edge nobody had done. And that's really what you do in your doctoral work. You sort of introduce something that you're going to be challenged on, and it sort of opens up. And that's what I did. So one day it'd be said, there was this man that before everybody else, people had doing e-church connected to their brick and mortar, but I left it totally, completely. And I didn't return back to it, and I'm not returning back to it. And I left it and went fully into digital ministry. We're doing prophecy and everything every Sunday morning, but everybody knew about Larry Live, but I was still doing my work. So I think Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's situation is just a black person a black woman who wanted to do something good to help people and to make money and do that thing. And she didn't know what the hell she was doing. And she done some things out of order, going into the programs, but she should have just fixed all that. And she could have just dropped Dr. Bryant or kept Dr. Bryant and just pushed herself as a coach. But when you look on her, but she done changed it now, her website and stuff, she was saying therapy and therapy. She was using words that you should not use as a life coach. Now she uses coaching and everything, but she really was presenting herself in that thing a certain kind of way. You got to really, really dig into it and not look at the surface. You see, she really was moving like I don't want to really use this word, but I'm going to use this word, but I want you to let it hit lightly because I can't think of another one. She was moving like a fraud. She was moving like a fraud. So that's unfortunate. That is terribly unfortunate. What's something else y'all want me to discuss? You see, I'm talking about that. 100 people done came in. You see, they got to be listening. Cheyenne. What else I need to tell? Tell me something else y'all want me to talk about before I talk about deconstruction. Kim, make sure you write down the timestamp so we can put up a video so people can skip this if they want to. Oh, Kevin Hart. Okay, I happen to. Oh, that's Crystal, and you the one that sent it to me. Well, this is what I think about the Kevin Hart thing, and please, this is my opinion. I do comedy. I'm a comedic commentator. One of the reasons I love comedy because it's so inappropriate. I absolutely love the comedy that make you cringe. I used to love Lisa Lapinelli. She's come on HBO. I ain't saying the name right. She would drag homosexuals, racist jokes, fat jokes. I mean, everything inappropriate on HBO. I wasn't supposed to watch it, but I used to sit up and watch Lisa Lapinelli. Is that how you say her name? Lisa Lapinelli. I don't know if y'all remember her. And she would talk about dating black men with big black peens, but she would say it another way. Man, and it would be wrong. But I would laugh so much. I just enjoyed that inappropriate comedy. And comedy is inappropriate. So this is a thing for comics. And I think we need to remember that is what it is. The man that said some of the egregious stuff that is his thing. And that is what he do. And I know it because to watch all of the different comments. Terribly funny and just wrong. But the difference now that we have to consider is the climate. And I think that I would have made different choices in the climate, especially when you're talking about George Floyd and how that moved all of us. It was the great white awakening. I think that you have to check the temperature of the room. And Kevin Hart, what he did on Breakfast Club, basically was saying protecting comedy, but at the same time saying, yeah, I could. Well, I don't even know. I didn't watch the whole thing, watch half of it. I don't know if he ever got to saying any form of apology. It sounded like to me he was trying to explain comedy. So he was like, yeah, it was a certain kind of way, but I didn't tell it. I didn't say it. And what y'all want me to do? Get on somebody for a joke? You know, he was doing what he do. You know, I think he was just trying to explain it. I probably wouldn't have said anything because just the way social media is, everybody on social media, like I said, that 5th, 6th grade reading level and comprehension, they want him to respond a certain kind of way. This is what I say to us. Be outraged if you want to be outraged, but I need for you to be outraged about everything that's going on. This roast at this black man's event, but I don't see you outraged when the president tweeted about Michelle and Barack. It didn't become this thing. I didn't see you make a post. So why are you taking this? And this is just comedy now. Everybody's laughing, and you know the people in the room not offended. but people who don't understand the world of comedy got a whole lot to say. So I think it would have been better not to say nothing, because people already done forgot. Now you done went on Breakfast Club. Now we're talking about it again. So that's how I feel about that. I think Kevin Hart is a comment. I think those people that said what they said, they're a comment and they were inappropriate, and that's their world, and they didn't care that the world was watching. You know, how wise is that or not? I don't know. So you said, honestly, both Cheyenne and Kevin Hart are great reasons why people should decolonize and deconstruct. I fully and completely agree with that. And in light of this statement, I think that should happen so that we as a people can start identifying who our Black leaders are and who our Black leaders are not. Cheyenne and Kevin Hart would represent leading Blacks, not Black leaders. So I don't expect Kevin Hart or Cheyenne to say or do anything that aligns with where we are right now as a Black people and where we need to go. I don't see that. They play their part, however they play their part, because they are leading Blacks, which a lot of times leading Blacks tend to sometimes help Black leaders, although they are under the white hand. They have their part they play, but I think we need to be identifying Black leaders. I just feel that way. I fully believe that. All right, so I've discussed those two things. Anything else you want me to discuss before I get into that? Please, I'm gonna have to start doing this. Hit like. You absolutely got to, or the algorithm is not gonna favor me. I never saw Kevin Hart culturally grounded. Me neither. So I don't have an expectation toward him. All right, I don't see anything in the chat of you wanting me to. Oh, I got a question. I have a good question. What books would you recommend to assist one in deconstruction and decolonization? Well, I'm going to the one I always say. And it starts with someone that I call a mentor, but I don't know him personally. He's mentored me through two books. One book is called Buddha and the Badass. One book is called Buddha and the Badass. And oh yeah, it's right here. By Vishen Lakhiani. I ain't saying the name right. This one right here, Buddha and the Badass. But I will read that second. The first book I will read is The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, because he does a masterful job with creating this word called BRULES, BRULES, which stands for bullshit rules. And he's talking about religion. When I tell you I read that first chapter probably 159 times, because it kept undoing something in my consciousness. And I've been on this road of deconstruction for a long time. But that book was a necessary read for me. So I would suggest that book. That's always my first suggestion. Of course, there are other writers, but for me, that was the book that just sent me really down that road. So check that out. Yeah, Fola, check that out. He is Mind Valley creator. Vision is great. Yes. Lickany is how you say it. Vision Lickany. Okay. All right. The Gospel of Inclusion and God is Not a Christian. Absolutely. Those are good ones. I was a little bit past that. When I found out about those books, I was already past that level. So I didn't even read that and start reading any piece of that to after I personally met Bishop Carlton Pearson. I knew about those books, but I was already past that, so Bishop Carlton Pearson was so necessary. And we'll be talking about things he said and the books that he wrote as a collective. It's going to all make sense many years from now. even since his passing, I feel like that many of us have began to ask some questions we weren't asking before he passed. Not because of his passing, but his passing itself was like a marker. And that was in the year 2023. And I must say that 2023 was one of those years that was filled with transition. Let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, closure year, of course, because 2020 to 2022, we were in a farce, a financial farce. What do you mean? We were not in financial reality. There was so much money coming in, money everywhere. They pumped money into the system. So we were all in this fantasy. They were handing out free money, millions, hundreds of thousands, $70,000 a pop. If it weren't even that good of a PP loan, 25,000, still you ain't doing nothing for it. And most of those loans just got forgiven. So we were in like a false reality. Then 23, the world starts going back to regular people going to work. For us content creators, we weren't in a reality. Our numbers were through the roof. Every time I came on and went off, I remember people would just donate between $5,000 and $7,000, plus my Google and my Meta checks, on top of that. And that's on the main platform. That's not counting, because I had a spiritual community, and these are people who have left their church, not going back to church anymore, still believe in the tithe and learning about the teruma and learning investment and all this kind of stuff. They were donating. So we were not in a financial reality at all. You were not. None of us were. 2023 was when I began. I actually noticed in 2022, okay, things are changing. Even my relationship with my then mentors, and Carton was one of them, that's when I started noticing things were changing. And I was saying, I'm feeling something else. And so Carton, my mentors at the time, really became like, how can I say, I really made it my business to try to push them, while I was really sitting with some white folk, particularly white women, unlearning and relearning real estate investments and what was going to be happening in the future. And I'm like, oh, we are not prepared. Oh, I'm in over my head. Let me start changing stuff. Got rid of my, we got rid of the place we had in LA, the place we had in Charlotte, the 2 places we had in Miami. I started selling cars. Y'all, I had 3 Rolls Royces, on the how many Mercedes. I said, I started getting rid of people that was on staff, because I said, this is not the real world, and this is not where we are staying. So let me and it took me and taking me. This is still a process, because you just can't get out of stuff, especially if you done bought stuff. I started dumping 2023. Thing at the thing at the thing at the thing at the thing. Right sizing for the future, not downsizing. Because downsizing really analyzes what's going on now. You try to cut your expenses low, but what you don't understand, you actually are moving in anxiety and fear, and it actually messes with your bottom line. But when you right size with the future in mind, you're sort of posturing yourself for prosperity. So you don't really end up shooting yourself in the foot. But when you try to downsize deal with the present. And it's actually a mindset of lack that is causing you to cut. You can't do that, because when you do that, you're going to have a decrease of income and revenue. But when you make decisions in light of what you see in the future, then the future starts beginning to send funding to you as you are getting in a posture for the fruition of prophecy. So all of those things I began to see back then. And so I began to make some changes. How did I get into that? What was the question somebody asked me? Boy, I'm way off. Was it the Mind Valley question? Yeah. As you're coming in, please hit like If you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, please hit like. So meeting Bishop Carlton Pearson was absolutely necessary for me. And those books he wrote, I thumbed through them. And that was after his passing. Yeah, that. All right, y'all ready? Alpha said I was balling out of control during the pandemic, and around 2022, 2023 was back to real. Thank you, Alpha. Yeah, exactly. I guess I looked like I was balling, but actually everybody that was connected to me and all my business, I poured everything back into that, Lessons learned. Now on to something else. Okay, make sure you hit like and share. Queen of your question to send us off on something. Okay, so we're about to get started right now. The first thing we're going to do is define decolonization. Deconstruction. Because the reality is it starts with deconstruction and decolonization happens second. I'm not saying you do nothing but fully deconstruct and then you move to decolonization. It's the deconstruction that leads to the decolonization, and you'll understand that more. Okay, it's thundering, so I don't know how long that's going to last or what's going to go on. All right, so we're going to move on. So let's discuss, dissect, and deconstruct. Let's look at the word deconstruction. Screenshot this and save this in your notes. Deconstruction is the intentional process of pulling apart the systems, teachings, traditions, beliefs, ideologies, doctrines, programming, conditioning, and inherited narratives that shape your thinking so you can examine what is true, what is manipulation, what is fear-based, what is colonized, what is cultural, what is divine, and what is simply man-made. Right now, screenshot that. You're going to have to sit with this. And one of the things I hate to see that is happening, and it's a little weird and off, but it's expected, is people making deconstruction diabolical. Deconstruction is the result of growth. If you continue to grow, you're going to deconstruct. That's what happened to me. I didn't even know what the word deconstruction was, but I was praying in the spirit. I still do now. I got saved at 15 years old. I never prayed in English. I always pray in tongues by unction of the spirit. And doing that, and along with my dreams, and when I pick up my Bible, I will see things that I didn't see before, that nobody taught me. When I will watch certain things on TV, they will speak to me, send me back into my Bible, into the library. Y'all, this started for me at Charles B. Aycock, my high school that I graduated from. Fasting, not going to lunch. If Lisa would come in the chat, she would tell you. And I will go into the library and read encyclopedias and books and be on a fast instead of going with everybody to eat. So this has been a long journey. Growth. If you're spiritually growing as a Christian here in the West, if you're really spiritually growing, please hear me. This is real simple. If you really spiritually growing, I'm not talking about religious spirituality. That's different. But if you are spiritually growing, you're going to run smack dab into deconstruction. And that's what happened to me. I didn't even have the wording. I didn't have anybody to teach me to deconstruct. I just listened to the spirit. And the spirit began to say things that nobody else was saying. And I started paying attention. So I want you to screenshot this. And then I want you to take this and do some work around it. All right. On Facebook, only 31 people have hit like. YouTube, there's a couple of hundred of you over there. I need for you all to hit like, please, so more people can get involved in this conversation. And the Q&A is coming right on up after I define the deconstruction and define decolonization. All right, but we're still talking about deconstruction. So let's talk a little bit more about deconstruction. As I said, people make deconstruction diabolical and demonic, and they think deconstructing means deconverting. That's not what it is. I happen to believe that you grow from your roots. You don't cut yourself off from your roots, because that can actually, for some people, cause some things to happen psychologically that can actually encumber your forward movement. I think you keep your roots in what your soul has grown from, and then from there you begin to branch out. Some people say they're not a Christian anymore. That does not mean that they're deconverted. That means they let go of the term that Rome created to identify those that followed Jesus the Christ and believed that he was the Christ. That was a mocking term originally. Rome, when it made Christianity a state religion, then they took that term on as identification. So even those that say I'm no longer a Christian, these are people that are in deconstructing. The reality is, if Jesus was here today and heard us call ourselves Christians, he will look at us sideways. So don't look at these people as though they're doing something so horrible and so terrible. Oh my God, they're denying the faith. No, they are separating themselves from the language of the oppressor. That's what they're doing. They're separating themselves from the way Christianity and Christians show up in the West and in Europe. You hear me say many times, I am a Christian, but I practice African Christianity because that gives me more space for me to explore astrology, for me to explore numerology, for me to explore these concepts that were invented, heaven and hell, for me to explore the position of women. Women made second, women are under the man. You know, African spirituality give me space for all of that. Does that, I mean, African Christianity, does that mean that I embrace every aspect of African Christianity? No, because you got to understand that Christianity was first a state religion in Africa, in Ethiopia. And there were some things that they embraced that was the result of colonization. Because remember, everything that happened in the Bible was in North Africa. And because of these trade routes, you had somebody named Phometius who knew the king of Ethiopia, King Aziza. I think that's how you say it. And it was that relationship that made King Azana, I think it is, that made him make Christianity the state religion in Ethiopia. Now, if you go to Ethiopia right now today, the way that they practice Christianity ain't nothing like clothed in white. It looks very African spirituality, African religion type because of how they practice. Well, you know, Europe, Rome, made most of that diabolical and demonic, and then they extracted their own Bible, the King James Version, and their own version of Christianity. African Christianity gave space to the ancestors, to angelic activity, and supernatural and mysticism. Rome not having that. That's where y'all power lay. We're going to say that's anathema and say it's wrong, but we inside of the Vatican, we're going to practice that, and we're going to worship these Cushites and these brown people and the brown Christ, because we know that's what the truth is. But what we're going to put out for colonization is a blue-eyed, white-skinned Jesus that represents the empire and does not represent what he originally represented, which was internal power, personal power, evolution of thinking and of the mind, and being powerful and one with God. That was Jesus's teaching. But the Jesus we see in Christianity right now is a manufactured Jesus, and he is a tool of the empire. So when people say they're not Christians anymore, you need to, hopefully what I'm saying is helping you fully understand their why, and not to demonize them because they're on that journey of finding out that what they were told was a lie and it wasn't in fact. So let them people be. And let me say this to those that are, I'm so off topic. I got to get back to this definition. Those of you that are coming in, make sure you screenshot that, because that's the definition. Reid, though, the definition of deconstruction. Deconstruction, this is exactly what it is. Okay, so let me get into that, because I was about to go somewhere else. Ooh, glad I interrupted that. So it's deconstruction is not rebellion for the sake of rebellion. It's not that. It is an examination. Can y'all put that in the chat? Deconstruction is an examination. You can also put that deconstruction is an interrogation. It is literally the auditing of the architecture of your own mind and your faith and your identity and your worldview. It's examining that and interrogating, asking some questions, looking at some things. See, deconstruction asks questions like, who taught this? Who taught me this? Why I believe this? Do I believe it? Or did I just receive it? Did I believe it? Oh, here we go. I might have to make this private. Did I believe it or did I receive it? Most of us practice the faith we were given. We received it. And we embraced it. And we never believed it. Larry, that's a lie. Yes, I did. Why are you deconstructing? Let me tell you. Yes, belief can evolve, but the way that you're deconstructing, you were practicing what you thought was right. You really never believed it. It is an examination, and the reality is most church people are scared to have their faith examined. They feel like they got to protect it from me. You ever sit down with people who feel like they got to protect what they believe from you? I'm just asking you a question. I'm just asking you a question. That's all. No, I'm going to protect what I receive. Okay. I'm just looking to see what you really believe. And the reality is you don't believe anything. You've just heard certain things, practiced certain things, and you have attempted to put your faith there. But when I look at your life is telling me you don't believe that. Maybe I shouldn't say this because somebody take this to Brian and make it seem like we fighting, but we talk like this. You can't tell me you believe in holiness and you fucking other people's wife. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me you believe holiness the way you preach it. You believe what I believe. Guess what Larry believes? Larry knows that holiness has absolutely nothing to do with what is taught in the church. Holiness has everything to do with your relationship with your brother, treating them the way you want it to be treated. Holiness is the golden rule. Do unto others as you will have them to do unto you. Living sin-free is the golden rule. That's the definition of sin. Bring no harm to no one. So you can't tell me you believe in holiness the way that you say, and then everything you do is unholy. You don't believe that. What you are doing is repeating what you have received. You are saying what you were shown or feel to say. Your belief shows up in behavior. So that means we definitely need to interrogate and ask some questions, because there's something that is wrong. You are psychologically split into several different personalities when you're able to preach one thing and then do something totally different. That's not you being a hypocrite. That is you needing help because you are in a dissociative disorder to where you are disassociating from your behavior that you say is something that you do not believe in. You monked up. And we need to take you to the doctor. Crystal Marshall, I see, and saying what brings in offerings. Now that's a whole nother conversation, but you're right. Yes, so deconstruction, let's put it up one more time. Oh, look at this. It's the intentional process of pulling apart the systems, the teachings, traditions, beliefs, ideologies, doctrines, programming, conditioning, and inherited narratives. That's really what your faith is. It's something you inherited that shape your thinking so you can examine what is true, what is manipulation, what is fear-based. It's heaven and hell. It's all fear-based. Larry, how can heaven be fear-based? I understand there ain't no hell, but there ain't no heaven. Nope. What is fear-based, what is colonized, what is cultural, what is divine, and what is simply man-made. It's man-made for the purpose of controlling your behavior. And ain't nobody supposed to control your behavior but you. Now, I already know that those that hate me watch me closer than those that love me. So they're going to take this to make me wrong again for clicks and views, and that's fine. I don't mind that. Go ahead and do that. In fact, go ahead and send it to Be Heard. Go ahead and send it to what's that Ezekiel guy. Go ahead and clip it and take it over there because they need the views. But I'm not gonna be hypocritical and tell you something that I know is a whole flat out lie. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Now it's gonna be difficult for you to accept it. But I'm not even asking you to do that. I'm just saying, listen, consider, research, and then you can still believe the same thing. Because I'm not in the business of trying to change what somebody believes. However, well, let me not say that. I am in the business of changing what you believe, but the way that I'm doing is not trying to say, okay, take what I say and you believe it. I want you to interrogate your own beliefs. I want you to question your own beliefs, examine them, audit your mind around your belief, and pay attention to your worldview. What you believe, does it disenfranchise somebody else? Does it make somebody else wrong and your faith right? Is there a room in your faith for everybody or just a select few? That's what I want to do. I want to get you thinking like that. And if I get you thinking like that, something is going to begin to happen and crystallize in your consciousness. You see? Somebody said you're going to be the sermon all week long. I'm okay with that, and I've been that before. Hey, baby, how you doing? I love you. Okay, so let's continue to look at the questions that deconstruction asked. Deconstruction asked, why did they teach me that? And why did they teach that? What was the purpose? Who benefited from me believing this? What was spiritual truth and what was social control? These are the questions that deconstruction asked. What did fear preserve that truth could not? What parts of me were suppressed to maintain my loyalty to church, or my loyalty to coming to church, or my loyalty to a system? That's the question that deconstruction begins to ask. And that throws you into a tearing down phase. Deconstruction, as relates to the evolution of the new you and the growth of your soul. Deconstruction is the tearing down phase. Painful. Psychologically, you're going to need support. It's also the exposing phase. That was a whole lie. Deconstruction is also the phase where you start ripping stuff off of God that people put on him. Oh, he took my mama. Oh, because I was too dependent upon her? Oh, okay. So he do that kind of stuff. Oh, he put me in this to where I got beat so that I can learn to trust him. See, deconstruction is when you start peeling all them lies off that made you really start feeling a certain kind of way about God. Are y'all with me in this conversation? I feel like I was supposed to do this, so I know I'm talking to somebody. You one of the few hundred people that is in here. I need everybody to hit like and to hit share. Like, and share. Share. Like, share, share. Everybody. Now, I feel I'm talking to somebody. But that's what happens at the deconstruction phase. Okay, let's move out of that. I ain't gonna be here long. They hide it so long. Your audience, your faithful ones, they'll get to it, but they won't push it out to other people to get so long. So I'm gonna try to end it really quick. Oh, here's a bishop. Let's see what he said. It said a lot of us are cultural Christians and accepted what we were told. Deconstruction frees our minds from the social control mechanisms that they imposed upon us. All right, Bishop JD2, agreed. When I see that name Bishop, I'm like, uh-oh. Because the bishop is one of the offices. It's not like one of the gifts, but the bishop and the deacon protects the church. But you can have bishops of different order. Clearly, this bishop's a little bit different with him saying what he's saying. So whenever I see bishop, I just go the other way. That's normally what I do. I say, oh, bishop. Oh, okay, all right. See you later. That's normally what I do. And that's where I'm at in my many-year journey of deconstruction. I don't give space into my ears and my eyes. You don't get to play in them. I went to Brian Carnes' church Sunday, and I went to support him. Oh, I heard so many things. I was like, ugh, But it didn't matter because I don't need my love for you, my friendship with you. We don't have to agree. We do not have to agree at all. And I saw Lovey casting a lesbian spirit out of somebody. Y'all don't agree with that. Me and my siblings had a conversation in chat today, and they were saying how this about being delivered of gay. I said there is no such thing of being delivered of gay. That's made up by church people. And boy, when I said that, it was a very interesting conversation because a lot of people, it must be hot in here. Must see my glasses keep fogging up. If you can be delivered of homosexuality, you can be delivered of heterosexuality. You can be delivered of homosexuality if you believe the Bible is God and what they put in the Bible, he said it. Then you create within yourself a dichotomy, a split, a disassociation. The part of me that's gay is wrong and demonic, and then I'm over here wanting to be free and begging God for freedom. You literally create the perfect infrastructure for diabolical forces. Whether they're truly diabolical or not, we don't know, but that part of you will act like that because you believe it. Just because somebody is casting it out does not mean that that is a demon. You are really possessed. It's casting that you believe to be casted out of you out. And I don't need to agree with my friends, to love them. I don't need that. I don't need that. I love you. And that's just simple as that. I don't need the agreement. I don't have to approve of what you're doing. But everybody's not like me. See, I will give you money and support you. I mean, good money. And I not feel like I can't fund the work of the devil because of what they're teaching. I'm funding them oppressing people's mind. No, I love you. You know, that part had to be worked out between you and heaven. You know. So a lot of people can't take a conversation with me because I am going to ask questions that are going to cause you to think about what you believe. So if you can be delivered of heterosexuality, then you can be delivered of homosexuality. And this is what I said to my siblings. I said, if someone says they're delivered of homosexuality, they were never a homosexual. Simple as that. They was having sex with the same sex, busting nuts and enjoying it, but they were never truly gay because it's impossible. Thais saying, this Thais Warehouse, he says, that's why Donnie round there writing whole for color girls monologues. Yeah. And it's interesting that he and some other girl, and I text you that too, Thais, this girl, on the same day, like 2 days between each other, are saying they had visitations or dreams where they got left behind and God, Jesus is coming back. Interesting. Because if we're gonna go with the book, if you believe everything in the literalist, I thought it said no man know the day or the hour. What the hell y'all talking about? What is that? Your consciousness is going through a transition and using what you believe to try to get a deeper truth to you. You need to live in your truth or you're going to be left behind. You have been left behind in life because you're not living your truth. See, what a lot of same-gender loving men do and heterosexual men do, because of the veracity and the fire in their sexual desire, they make the desire a demon and wrong. No, you have a problem with discipline. That's your problem. You got a problem with discipline. Homosexuals ain't out here busting it down in the back of the seat and in the dark rooms, every homosexual. No, that is a group of homosexuals that do that, and they need discipline, in my opinion. And maybe I'm old school. You need discipline. You're not going to be finding no love, or you're going to end up single and in your 70s and talking about you just couldn't find love. No, you did not do the behavior that said to the universe you want love and commitment. You was a hoe, so that's why you only have one-nighters, or you got to pay for it. Okay, y'all get me off topic. Okay, let me get back to what I was discussing. This deconstruction. Those of you that are just coming in, screenshot this definition here, because I really want you to be clear so you can help other people be clear, because people think you are deconverting and you're deconstructing. You're not, that's not what you're deconstructing, not deconverting. You still walking with God. You still praying. You still love him. You're still in fellowship with her. See, people got a problem with that because y'all don't believe that God is feminine and masculine and everything in between. God is all non-binary. Oh, see, y'all can't take that. Oh my God. Oh my God. See, this is why I won't come out here. I need to be with my folk. Because they're gonna take this and they're gonna do something with this, but that's all right. That's all right. But it's just the truth. He is the divine everything. I'll put that in the chat. God is the divine everything. God is all. God is the joy and the strength of my life. He removes all pain, misery, and strife. Promise to keep me, never to leave, never ever control the world. God is, God is, God is, God is my all and all. Right. And he's a doctor in the sick room. He's a lawyer in the courtroom. Mother for the motherless. Father for the father. But then when I say he's masculine, feminine, and everything in between, he is they, them, non-binary. Now, I'm a heretic. But y'all the one that put it in the songs and said it all during time. That's how I learned. You taught me. Oh my God. Isn't it interesting? And y'all were just talking. We're just talking, not trying to change nobody's beliefs, but definitely trying to get you to believe, to think about what you believe. Definitely. He's the divine everything. Whatever I need him to be. They're going to say, you said God is trash. Well, that's okay. June the 8th at 7 p.m., me and Kristen Smith are going to be in the studio talking to y'all about deconstruction, and it's going to be amazing. Make sure you mark your calendar, June the 8th, Monday, June the 8th. Brenda says they singing but not listening. Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening. Well, my best friend said something. Look. I think church has made some people bipolar. Whoops. Sing one thing and then believe something else. Okay. Thank you, Larry, for always willing to share and educate those who desire. You're welcome, baby. You can have a moment to say thank you, but not directly to me, but to the company I work for. Let me see. 4 days after your birthday. Okay, cool. Oh, he's your dude? Okay, good. You one of the bishops we can trust. You ain't protecting the church and killing us. Yeah, he a brilliant mind. I like it. Church will do that to you, have you thinking you smart, you're really stupid. Yeah, that like I always say, we got smart parts and dumb parts, but religion give you a dumb part that thinks it's smart. And it's so unfortunate. Ooh. Mm-mm. All right, so let's go. Y'all ready for decolonization? And then we're going to take Q&A. And in about 10 minutes, I'm going to ask for you to donate to this platform. It's the 5th day. It's the 5th month, 26th day. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Is the days of 23? 3. That's a 5. Okay, so what we're going to do, I will like to ask for more, but let's do $5.55 since it's a 5-day, $15.55. So you choose one of those, whichever one. If you want to do more, thank you, and it's welcome. Okay, so let me get back to what I was saying. Y'all ready to go into decolonization? Okay, this bishop is cutting up in the chat, and I like what you're saying. I like it. Ooh, I like that too. Spiritual psychosis. I like that. Yes, 5/26/20. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Let's look at this definition. Let's read it together, then y'all screenshot this. Decolonization is deliverance from whiteness. Okay, now we was at Reformation. Reformation happens July the 24th to the 26th. That's Sunday morning, 8 a.m. It's a panel discussion, but we have worship that happens first. Of course, it's our main fundraising day for the year, because all the time we come together and have like a worship encounter. If we were there, that first sentence, there will be somebody, Carrie will be running. And she couldn't sit right down because she know I got finished teaching. But that time she run. Unless the music comes, then she's going to keep running until the music is off. Then Marco going to be shouting. Kendall going to be stomping real hard and country. It'll just be a thing. If you want to sum up what decolonization is deliverance from whiteness. That's it. We're going to finish the definition, but that's what it is. It is your mind, your soul, your lens, your theology, everything being delivered from whiteness. Thank you, Desiree. That's a blessing. We just finished deconstruction. Now we're talking about decolonization. All right, here we go. Decolonization is deliverance from whiteness. It is the reclaiming, screenshot this, reclaiming, restoring, reconnecting, and rebuilding of the self after foreign systems, oppressive ideologies, racial hierarchies, cultural erasure, and inherited inferiority have been identified and removed. It is the process of recovering your mind, spirituality, body, culture, language, imagination, history, and identity from white, Western, European domination. Screenshot this. And I'm Black, so I'll talk about it through a Black lens. But this is something that the Latinos, that the Russians, that the Australians, all of the tribes on the continent, Africa, everybody has to go through that decolonization and that reclaim of their identity. You cannot make people's culture identity evil. And Western European Christianity does that. This is why we have Black pastors in the pulpit rebuking sage burning. This is why we got Black pastors in the pulpit rebuking crystal use. Black pastors in the pulpit rebuking astrology, calling the moon and the sun demonic. Oh, I played it. Brandon Jacobs said it. I played it. What's that man, Mitchell, Philip Mitchell? He said it. And the list go on and on and on and on. Somebody said, I felt my shondo in that. Oh, this Kendall. Kendall, you have a shondo? I'm not going to get it. I'm about to start jokes. Okay. Yeah. That's what decolonization is. So decolonization says, I will no longer see myself through the eyes of the empire. Put that in the chat. I will no longer see myself through the eyes of the empire. Or I will no longer see my faith, my spirituality through the eyes of the empire. That's what I said, Joanne. But he said it. I played it. If I'm lying, I'm flying. How many of y'all saw the video when I played it? Brandon Jacobs said that thing. That's what he said. Lala, that's what he said. I'm not lying on the man. I'm telling the truth, and I played the video. That's what he said. He said it out of his mouth. Okay, Latoya just said in the chat, she confirmed. She said, I saw it. So I'm just so y'all know I ain't lying. He did say it. I played it. Decolonization says, I will no longer call my ancestry evil while glorifying European constructs as holy. I'm talking to somebody tonight. I'm on up here for a person. Decolonization says, my ancestry is not evil. When I posted a picture of Jesus and he was brown, oh, the comments from Black people. Why does it matter what color he is? If it didn't matter what color Jesus was represented as, why did they change it from black to white? Because y'all think we changing it from white to black. and appropriating. No, 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 no. We're changing it back to what it was. We're changing to what it is up under the ground in Rome at the Vatican. Everything brown, and they know it. But what they pushed out to the media was for the purpose of them maintaining hierarchy, whiteness, the eraser. So we need to start asking some different kind of questions. And we got to get our soul back. And we got to get our soul back to black. And get whiteness out of us. And I'm not saying what I'm saying to make white skin the enemy, because it's not. Whiteness and white skin are not the same. Blackness and black skin is not the same. I'm talking consciousness and constructs. The soul got to get back to black. Our planet will heal if it gets back to the black woman. Our world is not going to get better until black woman, the colored woman, is in her place, which is headship. I say this is where I start losing some people, even if they're in deconstruction, because they can't take that. The physical body of the male and of the female will let you know who was made first. It will also let you know that the technological deep that the divine is in the body of the woman. And if you read your Bible right, you would know that God can't make without the feminine. He called for wisdom to come with him into the dark and into the chaotic, into the void to make. Oh, now, let me move out of this, because this is where the problem comes. But it's the truth. The original name for the woman is wisdom. And by her, the worlds were made. Let's take a moment and breathe. That was a lot. That was quite a bit. That was a lot. And some of y'all got the nerve to sit in churches that say a woman can't preach. What? She gave birth to all's wishes. And she can't preach. She birthed all what was in God's mind. See, the matrix is miserable because it's out of order. All right. Did y'all type in that I will no longer call my ancestry evil or see myself and my faith through the eyes of the empire? I'm going to tell you something else that colonization has done, and I see this even in my people. We think colonization is civilization. If it's not colonized, we don't find that it's civil. We'll call it third world because it's colonized, and don't understand that third world has everything to do with civilization. America's not civil, it's colonized. Ghana, Kenya, I'm trying to think, Rwanda, the places that we say aren't civilized because they're not colonized. These places are civilized. You look on their face and see honor for the elders, for the family, for the earth, for each other. That's civilization. But we think, because we're colonized, that colonization is civilization. Civility in this country, gone. We're colonized, but we're not civilized. It's no longer here. We're third world. We're brute, brash, harsh, loveless, unkind, animals, thugs. There's thugs in the White House. That administration has no civility. There is no Christ in our government at all. But then our preachers will go there. Oh, I can't. They'll stand in their pulpit and tell us to support it. This is religion that is running this, rampant in the pulpit. Okay. I'm about done. I gotta get up and stay long. I've been there hour 16 minutes already. Jesus, slow down. I don't want it concerns me when I see us participating in our own psychological captivity. And then when I start trying to get you to remember, then you start rejecting your African memory to preserve your Western comfort that ain't even real. You ain't even comfortable because the West won't create it for your African ass anyway. It sure won't. Your comfort is your cage. The Africanization, the globalization of you that are listening to me is the Africanization and the Sankovilization of your soul. Sankova, go back. Remember. All right. Questions? Your globalization requires Sankovilization, which is the deconstruction, decolonization, and the Africanization, and the integration of your faith. Boy, that's a mouthful. Let's say it again. Your globalization, because you and your business and everything got to get ready to impact the world. That's what you're here for. Not to run to everybody to church, everybody pulpit, and everybody panel to talk. You got to, 30% of the population of the planet is Canada, US, South America. The rest of the world, 70%. You judging your gift, your ability by 30%, not even 30%, let's just deal with America, by about 8% of the population of the world. Now, in your right mind, you ain't gonna be that stupid. You may be in the wrong nation. You may be in the wrong space and place for your gift, your book, your music, your film to excel. Your audience may be on a different continent. But this Western power has done such a great job in making it to where only about 40% of the population in America has traveled outside of their state. Less than that have ever been on a plane. Less than that ever been out the country. That's by design, because we're all on this plantation. Them giving us pieces of money to put it right back into the system, keeping the oligarchs and the top, thick, fat, their wallets running over. See, if you start traveling, you're going to get free. because travel is a spiritual exercise. It's a psychological stretch. When you start looking in different faces, when you start looking at different faces and different hues, you're looking at different aspects of yourself and God. So traveling stretches you. And there's some people, they travel and they go there to try to find everything that they do when they're at home. But some of us travel as a spiritual exercise, and we go to melt into cultures so we can stretch ourselves. Globalization. Globalization, your globalization requires Sankovalization, which is the deconstruction, decolonization, and the Africanization and integration of your faith. You said in some cultures, sex is required to pilgrimage. That would be, it's our nature to move and to be nomadic. Except you're properly programmed and you stay and don't go nowhere. We all hear one currency, one language. You go somewhere else. And that's why you got so much dementia and Alzheimer's here, because of the diet, but also because of the structure. When you know more than one language and you deal with more than one currency and you count in different systems, metric, and then the other, all of that makes the brain healthy and protects it from dementia. Now you see why some big mama and them were always doing crosswords, puzzles, trying to protect their mind from the sugar attack, the brain from the sugar attack, because dementia and Alzheimer's ain't nothing but sugar on the brain. Okay, so maybe you're the reason why I came up here. You say you're speaking to me right now, Dr. Reid. So maybe you're the reason why I came up here. All right, Q&A. Question, any question? You got a question about God? You got a question about the ancestors? You got a question, I don't know, sexuality, relationship, money. While you're doing that, you have an opportunity to support this platform. I want you to look at this. There are going to be two links in the chat. One link is the Teruma. It's a practice that is older than our Bible, but it's captured in the Bible. Really, it's in the Talmud and some of the rabbinical literature. 2.5% of all increase going to your personal prophet, your supervising priest, the person that teaches you, the person that expands you, coaches you, mentors you. There's a link that says Teruma. Click that, or you can do Zelle. And then over there on the right is where you put at $5.55 or the $15.55 or $55.55, depending on how much you enjoyed this. And then let me know in the chat what you decided to do. There's a Stripe link in the chat for that. It's very secure because we are a global ministry. We use Stripe because that's for all of our partners on every continent, everywhere. They can use it, and they can give it in, whether they in China. Has a selection for all of the different things that they can do. So if you are watching and you're enjoying and you want to participate in Teruma and also the $5.55, $15.55, $55.55, over there on the right, you can do that. And you'll see it in the chat. If they got a blue wrench and they put in the link, that means you can trust it. Okay? I want y'all to rewatch this video. I want you to watch it so good. I saw Thais in here. I want you to watch it so good you can spit it out. And you can quote it. Because, y'all, we got to get our whole community clear. We really got to get really clear. We really do. We really do. A lot of work to be done. It ain't for one person to do. It's going to take all of us. How to start a consecration. A Okay, put it down. The question I was asked is how to start a consecration. A consecration is a concentration. You are concentrating your energy and your focus in the direction that you want to go. And the restriction of food intake, TV, certain music, conversations, all of that is so that you can, without a breach or a break, a chink in your concentration, to continue to flow your energy in the direction of what you want done, to occur, to see, to understand. That is what a consecration is. It is a concentration. A lot of people consecrate, which means to set yourself apart, but they don't do the concentration. When you think consecrate, think concentrate. All right. Next question. I don't see the question. Oh, you starring the question. Oh, good. It's over there. Next question, Desiree says, how can I connect more with the technology of my ancestors? This is an amazing question. The question is, how can I connect more with the technology of my ancestors? There's so many different ways. Putting your spine against a tree, the biggest and the oldest you can find, breathing deeply. Turning around, putting your heart on the tree, just like this, bare feet. That's how you can connect with the ancestors. My favorite way is water. Water is the single most powerful expression in physical form of the all. Everything that happened on the earth, water was there to experience it. There's water on the earth that's billions of years old. I think this planet is 5 billion years old. The same water your ancestors farmed with, washed in, connecting with these elements that man did not make, cannot reproduce, cannot make, didn't have nothing to do with it. Those are your conduits that you can use when you are attempting to remember the technology of those that came before you. All right. Thank you, Gingerbread, for 1555. Thank you. Amanda McDowell for 555. Thank you. Thank you, Nathan, for Taruma. All right, Wendy says, how does one exercise and sharpen the gift of prophecy if they no longer attend church? The question is, how can one sharpen their prophetic gifting if they no longer attend church? The prophetic gift is not born in church. The prophetic gift is born in prayer and in the dream state and in meditation. That is where the prophetic gift is born. If you're in a prophetic church, you can catch the spirit of prophecy and even prophesy and see if you're in a prophetic church. But when you're in the company of others, what can happen is that you mistake what you experienced for something that you conjured. Group conjure should be the result, or should begin personal conjure at home, moving your body with your expression and calling upon the spirit, invoking the spirit. That's personal. So prophecy, according to the text, that thing gonna come up in dreams. You may start feeling things deeply. That is the prophetic opening. You may not be an empath, but you pass through that world of empathy when you start vibrating at a level to where you're able to, for lack of better words, let me say this is very simple. Say and message the vibration you're picking up. That is personal. Church is not required. In fact, the office of the prophet and the apostle is outside of the four walls of the church. It is the foundation the church sit on. So the spirit of the prophet or prophecy and the spirit of the apostle or the apostolic dimension and authority is not meant for the local church. The local church is an experience that you're supposed to have, a school you go into and you graduate from and go into the world and be the church. The four-wall experience is like a classroom, and you shouldn't stay there forever, always. All right? All right, y'all coming through with the questions. Thank you, Granville, for your decolonization seed. $5.55 and $15.55. And that's the name of the seed. I didn't even say that. And he picked it up, put it right over out my head. All right. Joanne says, by identifying Black leaders or them revealing themselves, do we put a target on them? When we identify Black leaders, we are doing so for who's coming after us so that they will know. The Black leader has a target on them regardless. You cannot see them. The powers that be, they do. And they always, typically they kill them or mute them in some way. That's what Western powers, European powers have always done. And they only can accomplish that when you have a Black leader surrounded by, or you're able to access that leader, surrounded by his own people or her own people who are not truly Africanized. Yep. Great question. Wendy got one. She said, how does one exercise and sharpen the gift of prophecy? Oh, I already answered it. Can you put it in twice? Hey, Michelle, I have a question about the real Baal and Ashtoreth. Okay, you going there. What's the question? The real them. What's the question, Michelle? Thank you, Choose Compassion, for $5.55. Thank you so much, DeQuincy, for $15.55. Taruma, and $5.26 and $5.55 deconstruction. And I see what you're doing. You're doing one for deconstruction, one for decolonization, plus the Taruma. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dominique. $25.55 Taruma and $5.55 seed in the ground for my next chapter. And it's going to be well. Jenkins, what's the difference between meditation and fasting? Oh, they're not even in the same. I mean, they're powerfully done together. All right, let me do this. Okay, so meditation and fasting are postures of prayer, but they are not designed the same way when it comes to their benefit. All three of these are key for your spiritual wellness. But meditation, unlike prayer, you're going inside for the conversation, for the sorting, for the clearing. And you're going inside of your own being, your own mind. Now, God, the divine intelligence, the maker, creator of all things, lives within you. When you are praying, you are partnering with that spirit and articulating the world that you want to manifest. When you are meditating, you're going into your own soul and you're making yourself ready for whatever. You can make yourself ready for prayer. You can make yourself ready for a conversation, but it's a clearing that is happening in your own self that you are doing. And you're securing and deepening yourself. The way that the scripture says that when you meditate upon the law day and night, then you become rooted and clear, strong, undaunted, not easily moved. So meditation does that to your own soul, your own mind. Okay? Fasting is a tool that is to be used to allow the mind, the soul, and the spirit to be more active and more detached from the feelings of your body and the feelings of whatever situation that you're dealing with or going through. It's a way to detach yourself. And when that happens, the spirit, the mind, and the soul becomes more buoyant and becomes more active and lighter. In the word of Wicca, if you're going to cast a spell and you're attempting to do whatever it is that you're attempting to do, they fast. Most witches do not eat meat for that very reason. Because when you chew upon the muscle and you chew upon the protein actually acts inside of you. It causes your body to become active. If you eat protein before bed, and really the only thing you eat before bed if you get hungry is meat, because it's still going to be actively digesting while you're sleeping, burning. So protein, and you introducing the carcass and the flesh of a being that had a soul. So you're bringing that energy in there. But when you're fasting, you're separating yourself from all of those energies. So all of these I just mentioned, they're different, but they're all necessary. Okay. All right. Boy, so many questions. I must really supposed to come in here today. Larry, did you recognize the timing of the Pope's powerful statement? Yeah, I posted about it. This year marks 500 since the first enslaved Africans were brought to the settlement in America. God, it was something else that there was another parallel I saw. I can't remember what it was. Oh, this has been America's 250th year. All right, so why is fornication not a shamed sin? Say it again, baby. Liz, say that again. That's a good question about fornication. Oh, Lisa, thank you. 1555 from 555 Deconstruction. Thank you. Larry, Sunday, you talked about you can't get the shoe or don't get the shoes with my income if I can't get it from the income I made. I'm probably not saying. Okay. Yes, you're not saying it right. Okay. We have a totally wrong, weird concept, but it's programmed for the purpose of control and manipulating you. When you go to work and you make money, however you make money, that money you're supposed to make it make money. And the money that your money makes, that you went to work and got, you're not supposed to be using that money for your lifestyle. You're supposed to be using that money to invest so they can give you income for your lifestyle. That's what I was saying. So if I'm going to go to the store and I want that Christian Louis Vuitton with that pretty red bottom, and it's $15,000, $3,000, $5,500, you look in your account, you got $50,000, you got $15,000. I can splurge a little bit. It's my birthday, or it's Christmas, or this is somebody that I really love. I can afford it. No, you can't. That money in your account is for you to invest to make money. That money is your Christian Louis Vuitton money. That's what I was saying. Can anyone develop the gift of prophecy, or is it a gift that you are born with? If you have the gift of prophecy, you can develop it. If you have the Holy Ghost, the Spirit, if the Spirit is with you, you can be trained how to hear the Spirit and then relay a message from Spirit. Can anybody give you the gift of prophecy? Either you got it or you don't. If you got the Spirit, you got the potential there for any function. How to stay balanced in forward movement while deconstructing due to religious trauma. everything seems so heartbreaking, it's overwhelming at times. This is why I say what I said. You absolutely positively cannot deconstruct on your own. Well, I'm gonna say this. You should not. I'm gonna say you can't. You should not deconstruct on your own, and you shouldn't deconstruct separate from a community with a leader that is a futurist and a deconstructionist. Yeah. Thank you, Dorothy Curtis, for 555 and 1555. Thank you, Desiree Gibbs, for 888 to room and 1555 deconstruction. See, thank you. Wendy, you full of questions. You must be the one I came for. Is it possible that single people could be depriving themselves of healing by abstaining? Oh, this is an amazing question. Do you know when you abstain from sexual activity, you injure your spirit? You actually injure your ability to experience more spiritually. See, sexuality and spirituality, one, it's the same energy, different ends or expressions of the same energy. So when you deprive yourself sexually, what most people do, especially in this religion, and women when they do it, they say that T. Renee Glenn, she's like 50 years old. They say she's a virgin. I got a aunt who's like 60 something and a virgin. That don't mean their mouth ain't been placed. It don't mean anybody never licked on them and chewed on them. They don't mean that. They talking about full-fledged frucking, that they haven't done that. So when you do not participate in that way, what people tend to do, that you tend to take all that sexual energy and spiritualize it, and that's okay. And you can take spiritual energy and sexualize it, because it's all the same. So you are injuring yourself, limiting yourself, and restricting yourself when you are not sexually active. You should be sexually active. I'm not sending you out there to download an app or to get online and spread your legs as far from the east and west and let everybody rummage through your innards. No. What I am saying, that you should be loved on and loving on somebody that you have a relationship with, you have some form of covenant with, that's between you and them, and you should be enjoying that as much as possible. Absolutely. Abstaining is behavior control. It's the empire that put that in the book. Same thing with marriage. The whole point of that is for control, and there's a financial aspect tied to it. The government getting in on the riches. Yep. I'm trying to give, but the links won't open. Please advise. No, they work, baby. I'm as a man, excuse me. They're working. Is there somewhere I can send my question that takes more characters? It's too long. I can drop the link, but I ain't doing that tonight. You can't come over to Patreon. Join Patreon. Wednesday nights is Q&A. I'm a deconstructionist as well. So much I have learned, especially when it comes to Paul's letters, were never scriptures because the New Testament had never existed as of yet. Bingo, 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 and you are correct. And most of Paul's writings, we can't even verify he wrote them. We think they're government plans, empire plans. Absolutely, you're right. Thank you, Tara Toy, for 1555 Taruma and Deconstruction Seed. Thank you. Let me see what other question is in here. Ooh, Wendy, you got a whole lot. Oh, this Baal and Ashtoreth are examples of true spiritual equality, and not how Yahweh processes spiritual equality. Now there's a lot in what you're saying. Okay, we'll just accept that. Because you about to send this into us. That's deep. Michelle, you need to be in Patreon. That's for the private community. That's gonna think like these people over here. It's crazy. All right, question. Is it possible that single people, okay, I didn't do that one. Thank you, CJ. To be honest, I was speaking positive over the pictures of your children today. I was going through stuff and they fell out of the Christmas thing. and I just spoke over them today. Thank you. Why is fornication not wrong? Well, let's have this short little, I think I have a whole video on fornication. Fornication, in its basic understanding, has everything to do, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit it from another angle. Okay, I don't want to open. I'm trying to hit it real simple because this is really open a conversation up. I've done a whole video on it. Oh, just go look for the video. Kendall, can you find the video where I talked about fornication, broke it down, what it originally means etymologically, and how we make it mean something we don't mean. Thank you, Oris and Karen, for 1555 to Roman 1555 deconstruction. Thank you. Miss LaShawn, the question, I'm a Taurus sun, Leo rising, Pisces moon, Aquarius descendant. Oh, is there any significance in having all four elements? Yeah, because you got, okay, Taurus, okay, Earth, Leo, fire, Pisces, water, Aquarius, air. That is amazing. You have the perfect balance. Yes, that's significant because that's the balance and it's all four elements. Yes, it's significant. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a particular name for it. You know how you got certain things in certain houses. Oh, you got a stellium here. I don't know if there's a certain name. If there is, I don't know. Maybe you can chat GPT and find out. But yeah, I think that means balance, a great balance. That Taurus sun, Taurus need that balance. That balance that the Aquarius. Well, see, that's the thing. The Taurus and the Aquarius connection is so balancing. So what you may want to do, because your descendant is telling you about your partnership, typically in business, to balance your thinking, to have an air sign in partnership, I think that'll be great for you. They say it's destruction and it's horrible, but for me, I've seen it be a great thing for air and an earth sign to work together. My best friend is a Taurus and I'm an Aquarius. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Sunday 1111. Thank you. Is it okay to take care of yourself if you don't have a partner? Absolutely. And do so without, this is Larry being Larry, because y'all know that my vice was pornobation years before y'all met me. So I'm a little, for lack of better words, I have a lot of guardrails around that. Sex is so much better with someone you have a connection with than sexing yourself. Now, I am not saying that you should not sex yourself. I think you should know what you like. You should explore. A lot of time what people do, they're getting off. Or, a woman that may have a rose. But you need to be exploring yourself. Where your women masturbate in a much healthier way when I've seen it online. They're touching themselves. While they're touching themselves in that place, they're touching themselves. They're almost making love. They're hitting their spots. They're discovering what they like about their body. This is still deconstruction, because you got to remember your lens of religion, you define every aspect of your life through it. And because of that, a lot of you think sex is wrong. And masturbation is something that you should not do, and it's unnatural and it's unholy. No, you can eat unholy, you can talk unholy, and you can sex unholy. But very few things, if any, are in themselves inherently evil. It's how you go about it. If somebody's coming in my house trying to shoot me and I shoot them and kill them, am I evil because I took a life? I'm protecting mine. You see, so Masturbation can be something evil or become wrong or harmful, but I'm not talking about it in that light. And I think there's been enough talk in our life about what's wrong and how it can go bad. Leave that on another conversation. I'm talking about masturbation that is exploring yourself, which is experiencing with yourself and enjoying yourself, not relieving and releasing, because that really takes it into a low vibrational place. When you are going to masturbate, you shouldn't be pulling up a button to watch porn to just quickly wank it off. No, you lay back and you get your materials, strip off all your clothes, look at yourself in the mirror, look at your body, begin to turn yourself on, make the noises that say that they're pleasure, and make it an event. And this is how you should be masturbating. It shouldn't be getting off and getting a release and trying to nut and trying to come. See, that's how you end up getting into this other kind of stuff that people do with sex that you should not be doing. You should be sexing yourself in an honorable, pleasurable way. And one of the best days for that is Friday, because the heavens are in a posture on, well, let me say it like this. Collective astrology that isn't always true astrology. Fridays, the word Friday, that day is charged with Venus energy because it's named for the god Friday. See, all of you that's talking about, I'm holy, I'm baptized, I don't worship other gods. If you call March, April, May, June, July, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, they said that it's all astrology, and some of that is Greek mythology. And the goddess Friday, I think it is, which is pleasure, Venus energy. Fridays are great days for masturbation and sex with your partner. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, y'all taking me somewhere everywhere. Oh, really? Yes, it makes sense. The heavens don't lie. Your daddy was an Aquarius and you were a Taurus, and now your spiritual father is an Aquarius. Wow. What, such alignment. All right, this has been a great conversation. Thank you, Alicia, for 1555 in your Taruma. Thank you, Mama Fatty Mott. M-A-A-T. Y'all know what it is? Very African. There's a history, a story there. So that's why Friday's a date night. Yeah, see, y'all don't know America practices the craft. That's why Fridays is payday. It's designed for you to blow your money. What? Yep. See, I just told you something. See, y'all think astrology and stuff, it ain't right. But it's the craft has been worked on you. America is the grandest, greatest witch I know. Yes, correct. Here you go in there. Y'all like to get into that stuff. I love it though. Mm-hmm. All right. I guess I will be out. Can y'all do me a favor after you do your seat? Thank you, Silver Locks. You worked it out. 555. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want y'all to do me a favor tonight, and I want you to listen to Ibu Kun. Turn it on. If you got a phone, put your headphones in the car is good. If you got one of these big nice speakers, you jump it over to there. If you got something like this is how I listen to my music. Like this is a big one. Oh, I love it. And listen to Ibu Kun and just feel the positivity and that joy, the joy of the ancestors. Oh, I can't wait to hug you too. Can't wait. You only have the links and not apps for sewing and giving. We do have the apps. And in the apps is the link. The website is the links. It's everything is that because we have worldwide partners. But Americans here, you can do Zelle for both. You see? Let me put it up. The links are in the chat. Kendall, put the links for the Taruma right now and put the link also for the MBN Network Global. Drop them in there. Melisha says she has listened to Overta and Overta again. That's the LRL. Girl, what you got on? That's a swimming suit you got? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Y'all see Melisha? Okay, then. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see if I can do this here. Okay, so you guys, I want you to meet us every Wednesday for the breakdown inside of Patreon where you get to do Q&A. Also, this July the 24th through the 26th, if you are a patron, you can be there in the room at 8 a.m. It's going to be me. And I'm also got two other people. And one is a medium. The other one is a root worker, but strong prophetic gift. We're going to do a panel, and we're going to be on that Sunday morning. It's all about spirituality or whatever. But that whole week is about taking your brand and business global. Now, I'm finishing a 12-week coaching program. I'm at session number 10, I think. And tomorrow night at 6 p.m., I'm doing the next section, lesson number 5 for the School of Prophets and Mystics. And if you're a Celestial Circle member, you have been in all of that. You get access to that. And that coaching program, the next class we have is on June the 10th. And it's the last 2 classes, session number 11 and 12 next month. You'll be completely finished from 6 to 7 p.m. on that Wednesday. Now, if you want to become a Celestial Circle member and you want to do it tonight, this is how you do it. You go to mbnnetworkglobal.org. This is like jumping to the front of the line. And you donate $2,026. And you're going to get about $15,000 or more information and coaching and programs. Actually more than that. I said 15, I think it's 50 something. Okay, so you'll get the first 2 classes here, costs $1,000 a class donation. So for the 2026, you get the first 2, that's the 14th and 21st. I had someone that's been in a coaching program for many years said the first 2 classes was more than what they got in 4 years. And you'll also get this entire course, the School of Prophets and Mystics. And then you got to meet me at Reformation, because at this event is when we do the activation for everybody who was in the School of Prophets. You need to be in the room and do not miss it. All of these classes we're going to be having, some of our experts from the Celestial Circle community. You do not want to miss about real estate and investment insurance tools, AI, stock market, banking and money management, women in corporate spaces, the brain and the mind and spirituality. I'm going to deal with neuroplasticity, which I should have discussed tonight alongside a deconstruction called The Brain Really Gets Rewired in Deconstruction. Health and wellness and nutrition, social media, podcasting, brand development. So much! So if you do that, you click Celestial Circle. Say, I don't have $2,026, but I can pay it in 3 or 4 payments. When you go and click it, you'll see the options. Klarna, Afterpay, all that's there. And we take you through the induction process, and then you're in it. When you come to Reformation, you have special seating, and you actually can come a day before Reformation because these panels start on Thursday for Celestial Circle members. All right, this was great. Remember, Ibukun, listen to that, download it, tell everybody about it. And this coming Sunday, I will finish. I've already finished part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Part 5 is this coming Sunday, where we're going to talk about mastering our roles as father, mother, entrepreneur, pastor, banker. I'm going through all of the industries as many as I possibly can. and talk about mastering in those industries, okay? I'll give you some tools. I think you're going to enjoy it. You will absolutely enjoy it. Someone's supposed to contact me regarding CC membership and walking me through a payment process. Please advise. Okay, so Shamako, are you listening? Or Mark? Sibilox, right now, just email LarryLive@gmail.com, your phone number, and I'll get one of them to call you. What time you go to sleep so I can get somebody to call you tonight? I'm glad you did, Michelle. Michelle, you like the deep. You love the deep. I should be saying this deep, but it's really just information. Thank you, Nubian bruh. Did you feel positivity on that thing? Here's the song everyone should sing. I'm not worried about a thing, yeah. Yesterday's gone fades, a new day appear. I'm blessed, yes, I'm blessed this year. Oh, blessed, hey, yeah. You'll be up. Okay, so I will have Shamako call you tonight. Email LarryReidLive@gmail.com. Probably Shamako and Mark gonna be on the phone. Call you tonight. This was a learning experience. We need more conversations. Come on over Patreon. No profit level this year. No. I'm doing one service at Sunday morning. He's supposed to be on the platform. You remember I said that he said we're going to do an interview. I think it was November, December. I said, y'all, that ain't going to happen. What did I tell y'all? Done. Okay. All right. Thank you. Exceptional teaching tonight. Very reminiscent of Wednesday evening breakdown. Wonderful job. Yeah. Y'all need to come on. Which ebook should I listen to? There ain't but one by Larry. Type in Larry D. Reid, R-A-I-D. I mean, they ain't holding nobody up here no way. I can mess up my monetization. Let me let's watch it. We can watch it all together. And then you go download it. Y'all want to do that? We'll watch it right here together, the lyric video, and then y'all can go and download it. Because y'all donating, the monetization is all right. Okay? So let's watch it. Let's go. Now here's the song everyone should sing. I'm not worried about a thing. Yesterday fades, a new day appears. I'm blessed, yes, I'm blessed this year. Oh, blessed, yeah. Blessed, yeah. I'm blessed this year. Oh, I am. We are. I'm blessed this year. Say, look at me now. I'm up, I'm alive. Favor on me, yeah. I'm built to survive. Every loss turned into a win. I leveled up and I'm coming back again. A little bit louder. I'm blessed this year. Oh, I'm blessed. We are. Yeah. I'm blessed this year. Oh, I'm blessed. Say it again. I'm up. I rise. I win. No fear. It's gone. It's clear. All year. Yeah, I got joy. Down in my soul, I got peace. I'm in control. Head defeat. Coming, I'm good. Everything working as you should. Hands to the sky. Raise up up high. I'm blessed this year. Hey. Claim your year. All right, that's enough. You can go download the rest of it. Shamako says he's gonna call you tonight, Civil Lots, but you got to email your number to Larry Live at Gmail. That was a problem. So he can help you walk through that. He'll get you in tonight. All right. Thank you, Martha Weston, for 1555 and your 555. Tay, thank you. 526 to room and 1555 deconstruction. Rhonda, I sent you a prophetic word. You was on my list this week. I think I already did it. Please verify. These gray hairs is starting to work on my mind. 2555 to room and 2555 deconstruction. Thank you. Question is, hoodoo and Christianity connected? Yes. Hoodoo is Christian. It was birthed out of Christianity. Western European Christianity and African traditions and spirituality merged together. That's how we got the Black church. The Black church is hoodoo. Funerals, ancestral veneration, unique to the Black church, comes from Africa, venerating the ancestors. Yep. I didn't know that question was sitting over there. I would have worked with that earlier. Alicia and Ivory, thank you so much. Both of you, them 1555 and 1555 Taruma. Thank you so much. All right, let me see here. Okay. I think I'm complete. Can my donation go towards my membership? You already done the donation? You mean you can subtract it from it? Email LarryReidLive@gmail.com. LarryReidLive@gmail. I think they should be able to work that out. And Shamako will call you when the master won't run it. And you, I don't know if you're talking about this or not. Are you referring to the trees? Trees are terribly important as relates to those that came over from the transatlantic slave. That's where we practiced our spirituality before the white man built the first Black church. That's not discussed enough that the first Black church was built by white hands on white land, plantations. Prior to that, we were in the woods amongst the trees practicing our spirituality. So that's why that was necessary in this video for me. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. What's the website address? No, you need to be emailing. So this time got messed up last time, Silver. Email LarryLive@gmail.com, your phone number. And then when Mako call you, tell him everything you want to donate, you want to get in every program, he'll get you in. Okay? So just focus on that. I saw a post by Ebony Janice today that says, speaking in tongues, shaking in the body, and possession by the spirits, Yoruba, Congo, Akan, and the ring shot to survive the middle package. Whoever that is told you the truth. So when the Black church speaks in tongues today, they are actually performing African diasporic spirit possession, but inside a Christian frame. Correct. Black people brought a cosmology so powerful that it reshaped global Christianity. Yes, that is true. Absolutely true. Yes, Black people speak in tongues, but do it knowing that it is it cuts you off. But you're correct. Absolutely correct. I have a strong spiritual connection to trees. I was nicknamed after a type of tree before I could walk. Thank you, Vonda. Thank you. Dorothy, that cannot be ignored. That was such a good post. Hey, send me the post now. You ain't see it. Larry, why do you think that we as Black people are opposed to deconstruction? Why don't we know that the first Black church was created by colonizers? It's because it was grandma's, big mama's religion. So it's passed down to us, and Big Mama was right. And if I deconstruct, I'm making her wrong. Yes, we are remembering. There are still hoodoo services at Congo Square here. Really? Let me know when that is. I'm trying to find your main page, mbnnetworkglobal.org. Somebody put that in there for Civil Box. Thank you, Akeem. Good to see you. Your plum tree was dying till I spoke to it. Ken, I tell you, these plants in here, they died, I don't know how many times. And I just get home in time enough to be brown, all brown, laying over the top. And I go talk to them. And the next day, green like this. You're like, what is that? Hey, everything has ears. You got to speak to it. I learned that from Reid on display. I'll never forget. Couldn't afford to get no new wash machine and dryer. And that thing went out finally. She knew it was going out. In the name of Jesus, I command you to what? And she hit it. That thing, and it worked until she bought a new one and threw it away. We moved to a new house. I didn't know that. You know, all of that's about to go in the water too. That whole area in just about 15 to 20 years, I think. Because it loses land, I think it's 7 inches a day or 7 centimeters a day. It's been swallowed up. Yes, we're actually going to Ghana November the 2nd through the 12th. If you want to go with us, Wendy, you got to join Patreon. You got to be a patron to go. And you can go with us. Now, there are going to be events for the Celestial Circle. Now, if you become a Celestial Circle member today, then you'll be at all the group events. But like there's some time we eat together, even if you're a patron. So you won't have to go by yourself. We go to Ghana November the 2nd through the 12th. November the 2nd, it'll be my second group I took there. November the 2nd through the 12th. If you want more information, then who we need to email? I'm about to mess up something. You can email LarryReidLive@gmail.com. You want more information, send me your phone number. I get the right person to you. Okay. You love the website. It's informative. Thank you. Yeah, you have to join Patreon first. Say, yes, sir, it is. We're jumping ship as we speak. Good for you. All right, bye, y'all. See you later. Ibukun, which means blessing. Goodbye.